You ever walk into a room and instantly know you read the elephant in there, even when you're not saying a word? That was me, Alicia Morgan, the day I stepped into the first-class lounge at Cleargate Airport, dragging my old Navy carry-on behind me, wearing nothing fancier than a simple gray dress, no designer labels, no diamonds, just a comb I always keep in my back pocket. And I'll tell you, if looks could turn a person to stone, I would have been a statue right there on the marble floor. Every head in that lounge craned my way, every whispered word thick with the same old suspicion. What's she doing here? You know what I mean? That buzz in the air wasn't curiosity, it was doubt, and the kind that stings, quiet and sharp. There was a security manager at the far end, Rachel Barnes, the queen bee of that marble kingdom face carved out of ice, eyes scanning me up and down like I was a typo in her fancy magazine. She pressed a radio, muttered something cold. Next thing I knew, two security officers started drifting my way, trying to act casual, but their eyes had that gotcha gleam. But let me back up a sec. I'm not the type to cause a fuss. Never have been. I just stood there, chin up, ticket out, passport ready, while those folks circled like they were waiting for me to snap, to prove whatever story they'd cooked up about me. Now, here's the twist no one saw coming. Beneath that ordinary surface, I had the fate of the whole airline tucked away in my bag. See, I'm not just a traveler, I am a senior ethics auditor for Advalent Group. And less than 24 hours before, my signature saved Grand Sky Airlines with a $4.8 billion rescue package. That day, I was there on business, conducting a surprise audit to see if their staff treated every customer with dignity. No flashy outfit, no VIP fuss, just me, my ticket, and my purpose. But Rachel, oh, she had her own script. She stalked toward me, heels echoing off the floor, lips curled into a cold smile as she looked me in the eye and announced, "You're in the wrong line. Economy's over there." The whole lounge stopped breathing. Folks watched, waiting for me to get angry or to melt away, but I just looked at her, smiled soft but steady, and told her, "I know exactly where I belong." You should have seen her face, like she'd bitten into a lemon. For her, it wasn't about safety or protocol, it was about making sure I felt like I didn't belong, and that everyone else saw it too. She nodded at her officers and ordered them to escort me to a little interrogation room. No protest from me, just followed them, suitcase wheels whispering on that shiny floor, heart steady because I knew what was really at stake. In that windowless room, under the cold white lights, I sat across from a stone-faced officer, his voice all business. "Name, purpose of travel?" I answered, calm and clear, watching his discomfort grow when my answers didn't fit the script he'd rehearsed. When they tried to open my work envelope, I told them flat out, "You'll need a lawyer and a court order." That stopped them cold. Suddenly, all that authority in the room felt a little shaky. What they didn't know, what Rachel didn't know, was that I'd come prepared. Tiny camera on my lapel, recording every dismissive comment, every smug little smirk. Not just for me, but for every passenger who'd ever been made to feel less than just for not fitting someone else's picture of what belongs. After they let me go, I walked back to the lounge, holding my head high. Rachel, still glued to her monitors, didn't realize the storm she just stirred up. She was too busy celebrating her hollow victory. But you know how it goes, the wheel turns fast when you least expect it. Now, the story doesn't end in the lounge. Boarding the plane, I caught a wave of stares and mutters as I took my seat in first class. Next to me, a guy in a suit with a Rolex shot me a look that screamed, "You don't belong here." Then he leans over, voice slick with sarcasm. "Guess anyone with a little cash can buy a first-class ticket these days, huh?" I just turned to him and asked, "Do you really think money's what gets you here?" He shut up, turned away. Didn't have much to say after that. But the hits kept coming. Sarah Barnes, the lead attendant, Rachel's cousin, glided down the aisle, serving drinks and towels to everyone but me, all smiles and charm for the regulars. Total stone wall for me. That silent snub was louder than any shout, but I just sat, gazing out the window, steady as ever. Mid-flight, Sarah stops by my seat, puts on her best fake smile, and asks me to move to the back for weight distribution. Yeah, that happened. Everyone heard it. I looked at her, let the silence stretch, then said, "If weight distribution's the problem, why am I the only one being asked to move?" You could have heard a pin drop. Sarah fumbled, tried to save face, but it was too late. She'd just shown everyone in that cabin exactly what she thought of me. That was my cue. I quietly opened the Advalink app, filed my final report, and sent off the evidence, everything recorded, every detail logged. The audit was done. The investigation was about to begin. When we landed in Seattle, an airport official met me at the gate and led me to a conference room where the whole Grand Sky leadership, Sarah, security officers, and even the FAA sat waiting. Their faces were a picture tight, expectant, hoping I'd apologize, maybe beg forgiveness. Instead, I laid my cards on the table literally. My name, my title, the audit findings. Grand Sky Airlines has failed this audit in its entirety, I told them, looking every one of them in the eye. Then I played the footage, the whole ugly truth projected for all to see. Rachel and Sarah's sneers, the bias, the snubs. No one could deny what they'd done. The exec tried to stammer out an apology, but I cut him off. I don't need an apology. I need accountability. Real change. Silence fell. It wasn't just about my dignity, it was about every person who might ever sit in that seat after me. The fallout came fast and hard. Advalink froze the $4.8 billion deal. The news hit every channel, stocks tanked, the airline was thrown into chaos. Rachel and Sarah were both stripped of their jobs, no more power, no more perks. And every employee linked to the incident had to go through a training program on dignity and respect, one I designed myself. A week later, Cleargate Airport felt almost back to normal almost. But you could still hear folks whispering about that day, how one ordinary woman brought a giant to its knees just by standing her ground. As for Rachel, I spotted her behind a small desk in arrivals, name tag gone, just another face in the crowd. She looked up, saw me, and you could see the regret in her eyes. She tried to apologize, but I just shook my head and told her, I'm not here to sit in a seat. I'm here to see who remembers how to treat people right. No anger, just truth. That's the real power in this world, not money or titles, but how we treat each other when no one's watching. This story isn't just about me, it's about all of us. About the simple courage it takes to stand up, speak out, and demand respect. So I gotta ask, where do you draw the line between authority and empathy? What would you have done if you were in my shoes or Rachel's? Let me know your thoughts below, because justice doesn't start with one person. It starts with all of us.